The Cincinnati Bengals are showing the city that success breeds interest, breeds profits, breeds just craziness surrounding your team. So the question is, are the Reds paying attention? Steve and I are going to break that down here real quick before we jump into that. Make sure that you're subscribed right here to the YouTube channel. We've got so much coming for you this season as the Reds get going, as the lockout ends, as we get ready for some baseball. There's so much coming for you. But, Steve, we're talking about the Bengals and the success. We're talking about a third playoff game. I know that's 6, but whatever. That's 2 hands holding up 3. 3 playoff games in one season with a chance. They're a win away from the Super Bowl?
What is that even like? I don't even know how to act. And the energy that is just overtaken the city and this fan base. And I just keep coming back to, I can't wait to experience that on the Red side too.
Yeah.
But the question is Bob Castellini paying attention and looking at all the positive things that can happen for him by putting a winner on the field?
I think there's 2 ways you can break it down. Number 1 is the obvious way, and that is, no, he's not, because they began this offseason with the mantra of, we're going to realign our payroll to our resources, which there's been so many people that have kind of built that into a checklist on Twitter or something and said, Bengals success, check. Bearcats success, check. Reds aligning payroll to their resources, check. It's like, come on, guys. We're really going to spend all summer worrying about payroll to resources. The other way that I look at this, though, is there's a young core in place, and they could be there in maybe a couple of years, but not this year.
You know, clearly baseball works a little bit different, and you can't always turn a team in an offseason just because of the nature of baseball. However, let's look at the model of success that the Bengals have implemented. They went out and got the young core that you're talking about. They went out and got some guys that can be generals on the field that are going to be there for a while. Mm-hmm. The Reds have that.
Yep.
So then the Bengals went out and spent money on some key free agents. DJ Reader, as an example of people they went out and got to fill needs for the team. Now, the Reds started to do that with Dick Williams and then abandoned the plan. But if they had just pressed forward, and if they will press forward again, they can reap the benefits just like the Bengals. The Bengals, you can't get a Bengals jersey right now. The Bengals Pro Shop has sent out a tweet saying, please do not call and ask us. We don't have any jerseys. They're gone. They won't be back. They won't be back for weeks. They're gone. That's amazing to me. This fan base is rabid for winners, and it's been so long, and they deserve it. And I just hope that Castellini's paying attention because this winning has a domino effect. And you want to talk about aligning a budget to a payroll? Winning will do that.
Exactly. And that the budget's going to increase when you win. It's not going to increase magically because people show up to watch a loser, which, by the way, people don't. I don't know if you've looked at like the Camden Yards or Kauffman Stadium or something. They're not exactly selling out these last couple of years. The Orioles haven't for a while because they don't win. Sure, they've got some prospect type. There's Bobby Witt Jr. in Kansas City. There's Adley Rutschman in Baltimore, but nobody is lining up. I mean, debuts are fun and all, but you're not selling out the ballpark for a debut. I love Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo. I can't wait for them to debut. That's not selling the seats out. You know what sells the seats out? Winning. And you got to build a winner. Winning doesn't just happen. You don't just all of a sudden get a team that's really, really good. I mean, the Bengals had to have a perfect draft in 2020. Of course, they got their man in Joe Burrow the year before that, and they had to make absolutely beautiful free agent signings. Free agent signings. Boy, that's a foreign term to this team. We're talking about just hoping that they don't trade off everybody. We're hoping that they only trade off a couple of pieces. And that's where the big part of this comes into play is Nick Krall. How do we evaluate Nick Krall? It starts this offseason.
You know, there's lots to be learned here. I think the biggest single takeaway that we have learned is that this Cincinnati fan base, I would put it up against any other fan base anywhere in the country in the way they embrace their teams when they need to be embraced. And if the team loves them back a little bit, the possibilities are endless. Point number 2, if Bob Castellini really wants to make some money, winning is the way to do it, because when you win, the fans come out. When the fans come out, it drives concession sales. It drives merchandise sales. It drives season ticket sales. It drives people putting their extra dollars into things surrounding the team and having their parties there. There's so many things that come from simply winning.
Now, didn't they have a winning record last year, though?
Oh, Jeffrey.
No. That was just tongue in cheek there, because
they also made the playoffs the year before, if you recall from the interview with Doc.
Played 22 good innings too. Of defense, not really of offense. No, it's tongue in cheek, because all season long, anybody who approached this team objectively never had questions answered. There were always questions around the bullpen. There were always questions about, can they get the hits when they need to get the hits? Can they stop somebody if a ball's put in play? There were lots of games where those questions came to the forefront, and because of that, they missed out on the playoffs. Sure, you can say it took a Herculean effort and the best winning streak in the history of the St. Louis Cardinals to kind of knock them out, but I think that we all had our reservations even far before that. Even when they took over that second wild card spot from the San Diego Padres there at the beginning of September, there was still a hope of, oh boy, they got to hold on, man. There's still a lot more baseball left to be played. And the thing of it was, they weren't built to hang on. And that starts in the offseason. That started in an offseason when they got rid of some relief pitchers for the only reason I can think of was realigning payroll to the resources back then. And now we're looking at another offseason of doing just that. The thing of it is, Nick Krall cannot do another trade in which he trades Raisel Iglesias for a player that he then trades back to the team that he just traded from him. Like, we can't be trading Sonny Gray to the Mariners, and then whoever that we get from the Mariners, we just give them back a month later.
No, it's my sincere hope that when this lockout ends, that Bob Castellini may experience a bit of a change of heart, given what he's seeing in the city right now. You know, I tip my hat to the city of Cincinnati and what they're doing. And you know, Jeff, you and I talked about doing this little quick video because, you know, we wanted an opportunity to talk about the Bengals too. You know, our guys over at Locked On Bengals are doing a great job and providing, you know, in-depth great coverage. But, you know, we're just two baseball loving guys that also love the Bengals, and we wanted a chance to, you know, put on our Bengals gear and say a special shout out to, you know, the guys fighting for an AFC championship. So, you know, I'm glad we were able to do that, but I really do hope that Bob takes a lesson from it so that you and I can start planning our World Series preview episodes heading into the end of the 2022 baseball season.
Moral of the story is this: Hooday, and surely hope that Bob Castellini's listening. For more in-depth analysis, you're going to find a lot more smart takes than just Hooday at Locked On Bengals. James Erpine and Jake Lisco, and a cast of characters that join them to break down the Bengals each and every week. We'll have you ready for the game this weekend. Make sure that you are subscribed right here to the Locked On Reds YouTube channel. We've got so much coming for you this season. I'll say it again. We've got so much coming for you this season. Make sure that you're subscribed and you don't miss anything we've got coming for you. Hooday.
Hooday.
Will the Bengals take down the Chiefs on Sunday in Kansas City and advance to the Super Bowl? Hi again, everyone. I'm James Erpine of the Locked On Bengals podcast, and that is the question going into this epic AFC Championship game between two teams that played each other this month. They played each other on January 2nd at Paul Brown Stadium. The Bengals came out victorious 34-31, overcoming three different 14-point deficits. I expect Sunday to be a different story. The Bengals can't fall behind against this Chiefs team by 2 scores and expect a rally on the road. But the number one key, protect Joe Burrow. Burrow was sacked 9 times last week against the Titans. He was hit 13 times. And yeah, the offense had 19 points. Well, 19 points isn't going to cut it against Patrick Mahomes. The magic number, 40. If they can somehow get to 40, you feel good about their chances. How do they do that? They keep Joe Burrow upright. If they do that, he can distribute the ball to all of his weapons, including Jamarr Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. And the Bengals just might sneak in to the Super Bowl. For more, make sure you check out the free and the only daily Bengals podcast, Locked On Bengals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.